Let's make some modern trance music. Welcome, I'm Casate Cruz, producer and DJ, and today I will show you how to make a trance track like this. This is my song Stay Forever, and I will guide you through the production process step by step. And if you don't want to miss music tutorials like this, or also want to know what is going on in trance, progressive and melodic techno, then hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get started. To give you a short overview over the topics we're gonna cover today, let's have a look on the song arrangement of the track first. It's a topic that is overall underestimated, but when you do this right at the beginning and think about the song structure and the building of the track in general, the song's already half finished. At least kind of. Before you lose yourself in the tiny little details of the song elements itself. So you have a plan on the structure of the song. So in this example, it's pretty straightforward and you can do nothing wrong actually. The first 30 seconds are the intro. Only kick and bass so that in a DJ set we can transition smoothly. The next 45 seconds, the first part begins and the actual song is building with a pad, a synth, and also a pluck, and some more drums here in the last third of this part. Don't worry, we will cover all these elements in detail throughout this video. So this is only the structure of the track. Then we have a build up and finally the drop, followed by a rather long break section to calm down the track after the first drop. And then the second drop, and finally the outro. Again, with only kick and bass for smooth transitions in the DJ set. And that's it. No magic, just a foundation. And you need to imagine that in the beginning of a song, I just built this foundation with empty patterns. So more or less, of course, throughout building the track, some things may change. But overall, I know where I'm heading to. And this gives me some kind of structure to work in so that I never lose the focus. So let's see what is actually going on here. You know what I always say, no song without kick and bass, and I should print this on a t-shirt. This endless wisdom. And there are so many possibilities for bass patterns when it comes to trance. Since I personally also make a lot of melodic techno, I kept the bass line in this track also very simple. It's only staying in the key of the track, so it's G sharp. The whole track is in G sharp minor. And I'm only using 16th and especially some 8th notes to keep it more legato. Meaning it feels like a flowing bass line, so it doesn't feel so fast and it's more chilled in its vibe. By the way, staccato, so the opposite of what we're doing in the bass line of this track, would be something like this. So it's very harsh in comparison. It's also possible, I use this pattern a lot, but it depends on the vibe you want to create, and usually legato suits trance better and staccato often suits tech house or melodic techno more. But it depends from case to case and you should always experiment, of course. So in this particular example, I'm using two different bass lines. One sub bass to make the bass kind of feelable and another one focusing on middle and high frequencies to make the bass more hearable. And this is especially important because you need to consider that many listeners listen on their phones and they cannot play the sub-frequencies adequately. So both of the bass lines have blood overdrive for some saturation to add some warmth to the bass. And the sub bass also has kickstart for some very simple side chaining to give the kick enough space and avoid that the two elements clash. Speaking about the kick, I layered this one with snapback, and snapback definitely is my favorite way to layer drums because it makes layering drums so extremely easy. So in this case with the kick, I just dragged and dropped the kick into the snapback area right here. Then put the attack time to anything above 90%, lowered the volume a little bit and also filtered it a little bit. And now we have something like a snap before the transient of the kick. It's a very sneaky technique, and this way the kick sounds more vibrant. Now let's hear kick and bass together. And throughout the track I'm also adding a closed head, an open head, percussion and the clap to get a complete drum loop. And if you want to know more on how to make perfect electronic music drum loops for almost every genre, then check out my video, because I made a whole drum deep dive, everything you need to know from the creation to the mixing about drums in electronic music. So now let's have a look on the main synth. That unprocessed sounds like this. So it's only simple short notes. The key to make it the main element of the track is of course the mixing. So saturation and distortion add more energy and make the sound more aggressive. And an EQ cuts the low frequencies because the low end is only for kick and bass. So I now delay to make sure that these short notes carry over until the next note plays. So we are filling the gaps between the notes. And we also have a very wide reverb on a separate mixer channel. And now OTT and kickstart for up and down compression and some ducking to get this jumpy sound. Isn't sound design something beautiful? So that's for the synth. Then we have a pad with a very simple chord progression to add texture to the track. So there's nothing special here. It's very quiet. It has a little bit of saturation in EQ to cut the low frequencies and also some ducking again. That's it. It's a minor element that only adds a little bit of texture to the whole track, but it's not carrying the track. Much more important is the Pluck to support the whole soundscape even further. Would already make a great standalone sound, right? But I have something different in mind for this Pluck here. Overall, it's only playing one note. Simplicity is key, as always. So here as well, we have Blood Overdrive for saturation and Camel Crusher for distortion to add warmth, power, and aggressiveness. EQ to cut the low frequencies, and S-doubler for additional unison, so additional voices, which also makes the sound much wider. It's a free plugin, by the way. And I also added a limiter to put up a sidechain to give the main synth more room. We also have OTT and kickstart again to push the sound even further, and now the Pluck sounds like this. Something different, but it fits the supporter role in this track very, very good. So together with the main synth and the pad, we now have this full sound. So we have all our elements for the part, so let's focus on the drop next. First of all, we have reoccurring elements in the drop, of course. So kick and bass, who would have thought? Then the other drum elements also stay the same right here. and start playing halfway through the drop. The pad also continues to play, and this is the main lead, so we have a different synth for the drop. And unprocessed it sounds like this. Very trancey, very nostalgic. So this is the pattern. It's a chord progression, playing 3 notes at the same time, so it's very strong, very powerful. And as always in this track, I added saturation with Blood Overdrive and also used Camel Crusher again for some distortion. So we boost the harmonics and add warmth and also some aggressiveness to the sound. Then again the EQ to cut the low frequencies. So then we have stereo enhancer to manipulate phase and timing to increase the perceived stereo width, making the sound appear broader. Then we have delay, and for reverb we have old school verb, because why not? We have a nostalgic synth, so let's use a nostalgic reverb as well. It suits the sound perfectly. Let me show you that. And boom, massive synth. And for even more energy, I added another layer. So it's only playing the lowest and highest tone, not the one in the middle, but it's 1 octave lower. So in the build-up, the lead synth is slowly building up with a filter, and I also added some fitting vocals, and together with all the other elements we have a massive build-up and massive drop. I wanna stay here forever, here forever, here forever. I wanna stay here forever, here forever, here forever. I'm so high, I will never let me down. And that's it for this video. I hope you learned a thing or two, and if you're searching for some one-to-one coaching in electronic music production, or you're seeking for mixing services, song feedback, or a remix of your track, just hit me up on Fiverr. I'm on Fiverr now, so please check out my profile, check out my gigs. The link is in the description. So the song I broke down in this video is also available on YouTube and on SoundCloud as a free download, so feel free to remix it or use it in your sets, and if you do, please tag me. I would love to see it. So the track is in G sharp minor and has 130 BPM. And if you like this video, please give thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Your support means everything to me. Thank you for that. Till then, have an amazing day or night and see you soon.